I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from The Rock. Richie Joplin and Ryan Warp on the front row. DJ the Iceman Kenner and Kevin Bruner on the second row. Paulo Anacito, Derek Schilling on the third row. Gerald Thanos Poole and Wayne Hufford on the fourth row. Gil Guac and Ron Holyfield rounding out the top 10. Robert Eggert and Stephen Lindner starting in 11th and 12th. Darrell Whitford in 13th. Warren Moore in 14th. Jason Brooks 15th. John Talley in 16th. Tim St. Jean in 17th, Mike Burgess in 18th, John Shermont and Chris Butler round out the 20-car field at The Rock. This is one of the few tracks where you really don't see the drivers warming the tires and cleaning them off nearly as much. Just because they need to save every bit of grip. And if we have any restarts where the drivers are on tires that are more than 5, 6, 7 laps old, there is potential for chaos when they get on the power. Here we go. The pace car is in. Green flag is in the air there. Oh, we've got a wreck on the start. Ryan Warp got the wall. The caution has flown. And it does look like several cars got caught up. The whole inside line got stacked up right off the start. There's Ryan Warp on the high side. On the power, the tires spin. He goes to the outside wall. Schilling's involved. Oh my goodness, a lot of the field involved in this one. Taking a look down from the blimp. Exactly what we were talking about. It can happen on fresh tires here, as well as on old tires. Ryan gets on the power. The car just snaps right. Everybody starts checking up, going low, and chaos. And we have a lot of cars on pit road. Remember, Home Motorsports does not have fast repairs. Kevin Bruner, Derek Schilling, Wayne Hufford, Ron Holyfield, Stephen Lindner, Mike Burgess, Ryan Warp, all on pit road. Tim St. Jean got a piece of it. Burgess, Ryan Warp, John Shermont, Warren Moore, John Talley, Steve Lindner. Jason Brooks went to the grass to avoid it. Hudsy, I do believe that is a record, actually. I've seen that happen on restarts more than once. This is the first time I've ever seen it on the green flag. Lights are back out on the pace car. Most everybody is on track. And on the lead lap, Ryan Warp, the only one, still on pit road. That was definitely a new one, even for me. Richie Joplin in control on the restart. The Iceman next to him. And here we go. Green flag is in the air, and everybody being a little bit more careful on this restart. Looked like the inside line being extra careful. Got checked up a little bit. But everybody coming up to speed now. Richie Joplin out front. Paulo Inesito already to second. The Iceman in third. Colin Sherman's already on the move. Looks like, oh, one in the wall right behind. It's Warren Moore. The turn two wall already attacking. That turn two wall will reach out and grab you. Does look like Sherman's damage is minimal. He is up 10 spots into ninth. Several drivers already up a bunch of spots. Kevin Bruner appears to have had a problem a moment ago. Now, I may stand corrected. I'm double checking. It does look like Kevin Bruner dove to pit road on the restart. Not sure why. Gil Glock now up 3 spots into 6. Daryl Whitford up 6 spots into 7. Tim St. Jean up 9 spots into 8. John Shermont's up 10 spots into 9th. Warren Moore up 4 spots into 10. Eric Schilling on the move, trying to make up some ground. He came back out in 19th, and Schilling has gone low. He was having some blinking problems. A heartbreaking night. A start to the night for Schilling is usually fast at these kind of tracks. He is on pit road. Schilling was on the move after restarting in 19th, was up into 14th. Yep, his blinking has just gotten worse. It usually smooths out at the start of the race, but this is not a track you want to have an invisible car in front of you. Tim St. Jean moving up into 7th place. John Talley now up 6 spots into 10th. Talley does have some nose damage from that first incident. Chris Butler appeared to have a problem out of turn 2 last time, but he's got it gathered up going the right way. Butler now at 5 spots into 15th. Up front, meanwhile, Richie Joplin has a 6/10 of a second lead. Paulo Inesito in second, the Iceman in third, all three within a second. Gerald Thanos Poole now up into 4th. Robert Eggert having a heck of a run so far tonight, up 6 spots into 5th. John Shermont still at 10 spots into 9th, holding the rookie Wayne Hupford off. A battle back behind between John Talley and Warren Moore. Mike Burgess right there on their bumper, a little squirrely out of 2. And now Mike Burgess, Yep, Mike Burgess now makes a move up into 11th. Richie Joplin continues to lead. We talked about the fuel window being between 32 to 35 laps. That interesting start to the race will extend that, but only by a couple of laps. And it appears Derek Schilling is out of the race. Angie, tell Bianca we are sorry. Zoom indeed, Pudsey. Tim St. Jean continuing to make up ground of 10 spots into 7th, closing the gap on Gil Guac in 6th. The top 3 all still within a second of each other. Gerald Poole and Ford now 2 seconds back with Eggert on his bumper. Richie got a little squirrely there out of turn 2. Fortunately, he was down low enough. He didn't slide up, but we're going to start likely see some 4-wheel drifts through 1 and 2. To give you an idea of how bad the tire wear is here, we've got a car stopped on the bottom. Nope. And the caution will fly. Jason Brooks involved coming out of turn 2. Let's take a look. Let's see what happened to Jason Brooks in the DuPont Chevy. He heads down into 1 and 2. Loose out of 2 that time, but gathers it up. All right, let's see what happens to Brooks as he comes through 1 and 2. Oh, he does get a bit of a tap there coming out of turn 2 and ends up slamming the inside wall. His chances of a win are gone and may not be able to finish the race. Tim St. Jean stayed out an extra lap. He is on his way to pit road. Richie Joplin has the lead. Ryan Warp several laps down, but is getting waved back around to get one of his laps back. Richie Joplin and Paulo Aniceto on the front row as the pace car drops in for the restart. Richie fires there, away. Green is back in the air. Richie got a great launch on that one. Hey, good evening, Pete. How are you? Paulo Aniceto fighting back quickly, had the nose in going into 3. Looked like Richie slammed the door. Oh, then Richie gets a little bobble. It is bumpy here. We talk about how abrasive this track is, but you forget just how bumpy it is. Let's take a ride along with John Talley and his in-car camera. You see his hand shaking that and the car bumping around, just trying to hold on to it. Across the start-finish line, down toward turn 1. Multiple grooves through 1 and 2, but you want to be as low as possible on exit to not smack the wall down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4, bumping around, car up ahead, getting a bit squirrely, and back across the start-finish line. Don did that lap in 25.35. Now, if you have a tendency to get car sick, I'd suggest looking away. When we get back to the start-finish line, we'll dial up John's nose cam. And here we go, out of turn 4 to the nose cam. This is right on that front splitter as he goes off into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway at full speed, and you see all the patches in the track. And back out of turn 4, you can see why this track is such a handful. Paulo Aniceto still on Richie's back bumper. And caution is back out. Wayne Hufford involved. Now everybody came in and got 4 fresh Goodyears on that last stop. I don't know how many we'll see in though. They only have 3 total tire sets. And Wayne Hufford, not the only one. Gil Guac involved. Ron Holyfield and Kevin Bruner also catching it. Coming out of turn 2, the car on the high side just bangs. That was Gil Guac. Bounces off the wall, comes down, gets Hufford, and everybody trying to avoid it gets together. There's Gil Guac coming down. He gets that inside. Then you see Kevin Bruner back behind trying to avoid it, as well as Holyfield. Both of them have a little bit of damage. I heard one of the drivers during pre-race mention this may be a race of attrition. Certainly starting to look that way. We've mentioned multiple times in the past, Home Motorsports, the cleanest league on iRacing. There have been previous seasons. Back in 2024, we saw seasons where the drivers had 1 incident point all season long. Some of them a 1/10 of an incident point. But when you come to a track like the Rock, anything can and often does happen. BRR used to have a driver named the Canadian Stig, and his first incident and his first big move was made here, looking very similar to what we saw at the start of the race. I sure do miss Canadian Stig. Everybody is stacked back up, ready to go. A lot more drivers a lap down now, starting back in 14th with Tim St. Jean. One or more laps down as the pace car comes in. Green flag is back in the air. No issues on the restart, despite these guys having quite a few laps. Some of them having 10, 12, 14 laps on their tires. Everybody keeps them pointed the right way. Top three all still sitting there together. Keep an eye on that purple car in third. The Iceman, I have seen over the years him perform miracles at a lot of tricky tracks. He might just be sitting there waiting for his moment. Thanos still holds on to fourth. Robert Egerton fifth. John Talley in sixth. Harold Whitford in seventh. John Shermont now up 11 spots into eighth. Worth mentioning, John Talley in sixth, also up 10 spots. Mike Burgess, we saw him moving forward earlier. He's managed to avoid most of the chaos. He is up 9 spots in the ninth. Ron Holyfield up to 10th. Chris Butler in 11th. Steve Lindner in 12th. Kevin Bruner back in 13th. And it does not look like Bruner is at full speed. Definitely has significant damage on the back and the left side of that car. The nose, for the most part, looks okay, but it definitely seems like something's wrong on the back end of the car. Richie Joplin continues to lead. Coming in tonight, his points lead extended. He has a 43-point lead over Kevin Bruner. That is going to grow tonight. Kevin Bruner, Ryan Ward, second and third in points. Both drivers having problems tonight. Derek Schilling, who came in tonight fourth in points, also going to take a big hit. Gerald Poole, who came in tonight fifth in points. This is going to be a big, big night for him. Mike Burgess comes in tonight seventh in points. Just a point behind Tim St. Jean, but right now Mike Burgess currently in ninth. Tim St. Jean a lap down. Back in 14th. Tim has got to be hoping for another caution that he's not a part of to get himself back on the lead lap. Tim is currently in the lucky dog position. Richie Joplin starting to have connection problems. We talk about it all the time. Whenever iRacing has an update, you do end up with some weird glitches. There was a big iRacing update yesterday and today. Richie really using all the track there as he extends his lead almost half a second over Paulo. The Iceman drifting back. He's about a second back. And Gerald Thanos Poole is closing in. Robert Eggert at the moment safely in 5th. John Talley in 6th. About 2 seconds back. And exactly right, just at the halfway point. It's definitely been an eventful race so far. Gotta hand it to Talley, despite the damage to the front of that car and how much downforce you really need here, he's doing an amazing job. Darrell Whitford in 7th, closing in on Talley. Richie's lead still holds at about a half a second. They will need to make one more stop minimum. The top 7 were last on pit road on lap 22. They have to make it to about lap to be safe. They've got to stretch it another 10 laps to lap 58 to be able to go the distance on one more stop. Whitford back in 7th, Mike Burgess in 8th, Ron Holyfield, the newcomer, in 9th, Stephen Lindner in 10th. John Shermont has dropped back to 11th. Shermont was making his way through the field earlier on, but has lost some ground here. He now has Chris Butler right on his bumper. Kevin Bruner still a bit off pace. His lap times are a little bit better. Speaking of lap times, these drivers have been out there for about 25 plus laps on this set of tires. Several of those laps were under caution. But Richie Joplin's fastest lap at 24.86 last time by, 25.92, over a second slower. Rockingham just eats the tires and slows them down. Paulo Aniceto losing ground in 2nd. Now 1 second behind Richie. The Iceman in 3rd, about a second and a half back. Gerald Poole 9/10 of a second behind DJ. He was gaining on him, but it looks like that gap has stabilized. Robert Eggert back in 5th. Hey, good evening, Count. How are you? How's your ankle doing, buddy? Richie's lead starting to grow. It is now 1.4 seconds. Oh, I'll have to look that one up. The leaders now coming in to lap traffic. Depending on how they get through the lap traffic could be a deciding factor. If Paulo can get through more clean than Richie, he could close the gap. Everybody is now within the fuel window to go the distance. From here, we could see final stops at any moment. And speaking of John Talley, Darrell Whitford both onto pit road. Paulo Anacito is coming in. Gerald Poole. Robert Egger also coming in. Stephen Lindner also on his way in for his final stop. The leader, Richie Joplin, heads to pit road. No problem, buddy. I saw you were having issues. Sorry about that. Ron Holyfield just came in. John Shermont's Kevin Bruner still out. Tim St. Jean also has not made it. Here he comes, as well as Shermont's. Paulo Anacito is the first car, the highest running car at the moment. DJ Kenner on his way out. He is ahead of Richie. And here comes Paulo at full chat down the backstretch. He'll take second. Richie trying to fight back on the bottom. Whoa, both of them squarely out of four. And neither one is lifting. DJ Kenner is loving this. The longer these two fight, the further away he'll get. They switch lanes. Paulo tries to go low. Richie slams the door. Now Paulo's got to run. Richie slid it through 3 and 4. Count? I didn't know anybody was doing that. That's wild. Kevin Bruner is still out on track. He has not made his final stop, but when he does, the lead will, at the moment, cycle to DJ, but Paulo looking low. Oh, Paulo started to get a little bit of a push. Had to back out of it just a hair. The Iceman still leads. I thought we were going to see Bruner, and right there, the top three are closing in on Kevin quickly. Remember, that car has been off pace since he got caught up in that incident. This could be a little sketchy coming off turn 2. Bruner goes low. Richie goes high, trying to make the move, and now Gerald Poole is in the fight. And Kevin Bruner has finally brought it in for his final stop. "23 laps to go at the Rock, and the Iceman currently leads. But can he hold off the points leader, Richie Joplin? Interesting fact I found out before the race, a well-known fact is DJ and another driver by the name of Jeremy Root alternate who drives and who works as a spotter. Obviously, the Iceman driving tonight, Root is spotting. But Richie Joplin praises Jeremy Root for helping him get faster. Jeremy Root has helped both of the top two, and Richie Joplin reclaims the lead. John Talley back in 6th, trying to close the gap on Eggert in 5th. Gerald Poole in 4th, still within striking distance on the top 3. Stephen Lindner back in 10th, the last car on the lead lap. Ron Holyfield in 9th, right on Mike Burgess's bumper. Darrell Whitford in 7th, closing in on Talley at the moment. John Shermans, currently in 11th. Kevin Bruner in 12th. Tim St. Jean back to 13th. Chris Butler in 14th. Ryan Warp in 15th. Warren Moore, Wayne Hufford, Gil Guanc, Jason Brooks, and Derek Schilling all out early. DJ staying right within striking distance of Richie. Paulo in 3rd, Gerald in 4th. One mistake could definitely shake up the entire top 4. One caution could shake up the whole race. Gerald closing in just a little bit on Paulo Aniceto. He's about 7/10 of a second back. John Talley still holds on to 6th. Darrell Whitford in 7th was closing in. But that gap is stabilized for the moment. Count, yes you did. how we started the race. No lap traffic for the foreseeable future for the leaders. And let's take one more quick look at how this race started. Keep an eye on Ryan Warp on the high side as they come out of turn 4. The pace car drops in. Everybody jumps on the power. Ryan just snaps hard to the right and chaos. A rough start to the evening. Ryan Warp has just completed his final stop. He has made up some ground, now up into 15th. But a bit of a heartbreak after having that strong qualifying lap and being fast in practice. Richie Joplin is pulling away with 10 to go, and now Paulo is right on DJ's bumper. Catch you later, Count. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Doesn't appear so, Pete. Richie Joplin in the lead, 6 laps to go. The Iceman in second, but Paulo Inesito has the run into turn 1. They both go up the track and Paulo takes second. DJ now back into third. Gerald Poole was within striking distance, but has lost some ground in fourth. Robert Eggert back in fifth. John Talley in 6th. Darrell Whitford in 7th. Starting to fall back from Talley. Ron Holyfield, Mike Burgess right there together along with Steve Lindner. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Looks like Burgess may have kissed the wall. Holyfield, oh! Burgess smacks the wall out of turn 2. Gets into Lindner just a little bit, but no caution. He clears the racing surface. Mike Burgess had managed to avoid the chaos and minimal damage to the car, maintain the lead lap, but and with just 5 laps to go, he gets a big setback. Burgess still holding on to 10th, but now 20 seconds behind 9th place. And here we go, 2 laps to go with the Rock. Richie qualified on the pole, lost some ground early on, quickly got back to the lead, avoid all the chaos, and has opened up a 1.3 second gap on Paulo. The Iceman still back in third as the white flag flies one more time around. And Richie continues to have a dominant season as he comes down the back straightaway. This may very well secure his championship win. Out of turn 4, Richie Joplin will win at Rockingham. Paulo Aniceto fights back, comes home in second. The Iceman finishes on the podium in third. And let's talk to our top 3. We'll start with Paulo, not 100% sure. We'll get to talk to the Iceman or not. But we'll start with second place, Paulo Aniceto. Paulo, a heck of a run tonight, man, and staying out of trouble seemed to be the key.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, that was crazy fun, and that was a hell of a race with DJ there at the end.
I have to say, how much did you get sucked into your seat on that start?
Yeah, the start was pretty tough. It was pretty damn easy to light them up there. Yeah, I don't know. It's good times though.
It definitely was, man. Another great finish. You come home in second, a big points night this late in the season. It's got to be awesome to be marching up the points every single race.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun racing with these guys. A lot of fun.
Oh, great job, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks again, Doug. Thank you.
And let's talk to our winner, Richie Joplin. Richie, another win, and you may very well have just locked up the championship.
Yeah, it was a good race. I finally broke my losing streak here in this league. Yeah, The Rock, man. I'll have fun racing with DJ and Paulo. They was making me honest. They were staying right there with me the whole entire time. I mean, I've seen Paulo and DJ right there. I mean, they was only, second and a half behind me. One mistake, it would have been done, over with. You know what I'm saying?
And we definitely saw a lot of little mistakes out here tonight. It's so easy to make the smallest wrong mistake at the Rock and end your race.
Oh, yeah, you could have messed up just a little bit coming out of 2 and knock your whole right front off the car. So I was just trying to hit my marks each lap and just hoping I don't screw up and end my race.
Well, you managed to do everything right on this one and come home with another win and likely have just secured your championship. Congratulations, buddy.
Oh, thank you. We'll find out next week about the championship, or well, tonight. I still got some races left, so we'll go from there.
Oh, great job, buddy.
Thank you.
Richie Joplin gets the win at the Rock, and folks, don't forget, come back here shortly. We will have the Unicorn Trucking. We've got a few issues to work through, and hopefully we'll be back up and have the Unicorn Trucking here before long. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you later. Have a great night, y'all.